Namaste, I'm Samta Auntie, the founder and CEO of Virtual Preschool. And today we're going to talk about how to ask questions in Hindi. In this lesson, we're going to learn question words in Hindi. We'll talk about word order and look at some examples. And we're going to focus on one question word, kahaa, which means where. So let's get started. You know these words. These are the question words in English. Who, what, where, when, why, how many, which, and whose. And here's how to say those same words, but in Hindi. Now look at this. Kaun is who, kya, what, kahan, where, kab, when, kyun, why, kaise, how, kitne, how many, kaun sa, which, kiska, whose. That's a lot to remember. But don't worry, today we're going to focus on just one of these, kahan. Kahan means where in Hindi, as in where are the samosas, where are the Legos, or where is the book? And again, the Hindi word for where is kahan. In order to use this word in a sentence, first let's talk about the order of the words or the syntax, because the order of the words in Hindi is different than English. Let's look at this example. In English, we would say, where is Yoda? And in Hindi, we would say, Yoda kahan hai? Now, let's look at these two sentences side by side. Where is the first word in the English sentence, but it's the second word in the Hindi sentence. Is the second word in the English sentence, but it's the last word in the Hindi sentence. Hai means is. And Yoda is the last word in the English sentence, but it's the first word in the Hindi sentence. So this leads us to an important difference between English and Hindi. In Hindi, the subject of the sentence is always going to be the first word. Let me say that again. In Hindi, the subject of the sentence is always going to be the first word. But what does subject of a sentence mean? It's the person, object, or animal that the sentence is about. Let me say that again. What is the subject of a sentence? It's the person, object, or animal that the sentence is about. What's the subject of this sentence? Where is Yoda? What's the subject? Think about what this sentence is about. It's about Yoda, right? So Yoda is the subject of the sentence. So if Yoda is the subject of the sentence, how would you ask, where is Yoda? What will your first word of the sentence be? Remember, in Hindi, the first word is always the subject of the sentence. So that means the first word will be Yoda, right? Because Yoda is the subject. So to ask, where is Yoda in Hindi, we say, Yoda kahan hai? Yoda kahan hai? And that leads me to another big difference in the word order between English and Hindi. In Hindi, the verb is at the end of the sentence. Let me say that again. In Hindi, the verb is at the end of a sentence. What's a verb? A verb is the action word. It's the word that's doing something. So in the sentence, where is Yoda, is our verb. And the way we say is in Hindi, we say hai. Hai means is. So let's review this now. We've talked about the first word and the last word in a Hindi sentence. The first word in a Hindi sentence is the subject of the sentence. The subject of a sentence is the animal, object, or person that the sentence is about. And in Hindi, the last word of your sentence is the verb. The verb is the action word. It's the word that's doing something in the sentence. So in this case, hai is our verb. Yoda kahan hai. So now that you've learned the word kahan, let's try using it in a sentence. Where is the dress? What's the subject of that sentence? It's dress, right? So we would say dress kahaan hai. Now let's replace the word dress with the Hindi word, which is frock. So we would say frock kahaan hai. Frock kahaan hai. Let's do another one. Where is the ball? What's the subject of the sentence? If you said ball, very good. Ball is the subject of the sentence. So how would we put this sentence together to say where is the ball in Hindi? Ball kahaan hai? Ball kahaan hai? Now let's replace the word ball with the Hindi word, gend. So now, what's the Hindi sentence? Gend kahaan hai? Gend kahaan hai? All right, next one. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? What's the subject? It's sun, right? Sun is the subject of the sentence. So what's the Hindi sentence? Sun kahaan hai? Sun kahaan hai? Now let's replace the word sun with the Hindi word, which is suraj. Suraj. So what would be your Hindi sentence to say where is the sun in Hindi? If you said Suraj kahaan hai, shabash. Suraj kahaan hai? All right, where is the cloud? Where is the cloud? What's the subject of the sentence? It's cloud, right? Cloud is the subject of the sentence. So put the Hindi sentence together. Where is the cloud? Cloud kahaan hai? Cloud kahaan hai? Now, let's replace the word cloud with the Hindi word, which is badal. So now put it together. Badal kahaan hai? Badal kahaan hai? Let's do another one. Where is the house? Where is the house? What's the subject? It's house, right? So put your Hindi sentence together. House kahaan hai? House kahaan hai? Now let's replace the word house for the Hindi word, which is ghar. Ghar. Now I want to point something out about this word. This is a tricky H word. Tricky H's pop up all over Hindi. So listen again to how I pronounce this word. I'm not saying gar, I'm saying ghar. Do you hear me pronouncing that H after the G? Ghar. Again, I'm not saying gar, I'm saying ghar. So it's really important that we practice correct pronunciation. So we have to enunciate those tricky H's. Ghar. So again, ghar means house. So how would you say where is the house in Hindi? Put the whole sentence together. We say ghar kahaan hai? Ghar kahaan hai? All right, let's do another one. Where is the door? Where is the door? What's the subject? It's door, right? Door is the subject of the sentence. So that's going to be the first word in our Hindi sentence. So we say door kahaan hai? Door kahaan hai? Now let's replace the word door with the Hindi word, which is darwaza. Darwaza. Now another pronunciation thing on this word. Some of you might have heard the word darwaja. Instead of a z sound, it's a j sound. Now, darwaja is not correct. It's accepted in conversational Hindi because that's the way a lot of people learn it. But actually, the correct pronunciation is darwaza, like z, like zebra, darwaza. But then why do so many people pronounce it as darwaja? Well, the reason is because a lot of people in India who speak Hindi cannot say the z sound. So they replace it with a j sound, like January. So they say darwaja. But we don't have that problem, do we? We can say the z sound because we've grown up saying it. So We can say darvaza, which is the correct pronunciation. So where is the door? Let's put it together. How would you say where is the door in Hindi? We say darvaza kahan hai. Darvaza kahan hai. All right, let's look at another one. Where is the table? Where is the table? What's the subject? It's table, right? Table is our subject. So that's going to be the first word in our Hindi sentence. So we say table kahan hai. Table kahan hai. Now let's replace the word for table with the Hindi word. And this is another one of those words with a ja and a z sound. So the actual correct pronunciation is maze. Maze, like you walk through a maze. Or I did a maze today. But a lot of times in conversational Hindi it's pronounced mage for the same reason I just explained with darvaza and darvaja. So we say maze kahan hai. Maze kahan hai. All right, next one. Where is the plate? Where is the plate? What's the subject? Plate, right? Plate is the subject of our sentence. So that's going to be the first word in our Hindi sentence. So put the whole Hindi sentence together. We say plate kahan hai. Plate kahan hai. And the Hindi word for plate is thali. Thali is the Hindi word for plate. So now put your whole Hindi sentence together to say, where is the plate? The whole thing in Hindi. If you said thali kahan hai, shabash. Let's look at another one. Where is the bed? Where is the bed? What's the subject of the sentence? The subject is bed, right? So how would you say where is the bed in Hindi? Bed kahan hai? Bed kahan hai? Now replace the word bed with the Hindi word. Bistar. Bistar. So now try putting the whole Hindi sentence together. Bistar kahan hai? Bistar kahan hai? All right. Where is the mirror? Where is the mirror? What's the subject? Mirror. So put the whole Hindi sentence together. Where is the mirror? If you said mirror kahan hai, shabash. Mirror kahan hai? Now let's replace the word mirror with the Hindi word, aina. Aina is how we say mirror in Hindi. So now, how would you say where is the mirror, the whole thing in Hindi? Aina kahan hai? Aina kahan hai? All right, great work. So let's review what we've done now that we've done several examples. We learned that the order of the words in a Hindi sentence is different than an English sentence. We learned that the subject of a sentence is what the sentence is about, the person, object, or animal that the sentence is about. And we learned that the subject is always going to be the first word in a Hindi sentence. So remember our example, our very first example, where is Yoda? The subject is Yoda, so that's going to be the first word in our sentence. Yoda kahan hai? And lastly, we learned that the word kahan is how we say where in Hindi. So thank you so much for listening. Excellent work on this. Dhanyavad. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in class.